Hello, I am Ryan.
Hello, I am Amy. Welcome to Listen to English Podcast.
Today, we're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of us can relate to, that feeling of being ambitious, but also kind of, lazy.
Yeah, it's a fascinating paradox, right? We have these big dreams and goals, but sometimes even getting started feels like an uphill battle.
Exactly. It's like you're caught in this tug of war between wanting to conquer the world and just wanting to stay curled up on the couch.
Yeah.
I know I personally struggle with this all the time. Like, I have this goal of writing a book, but more often than not, I find myself just scrolling through social media instead. The desire is there, the vision is clear, but the motivation to actually put pen to paper, it often feels like it's taken an extended vacation. Have you ever experienced this kind of disconnect?
Oh, absolutely. It appears that this disconnect between aspirations and actions is incredibly common. A lot of people experience this, and it's a bit like having a powerful engine in a car, but a faulty ignition system. All that potential, but unable to get going.
That's such a great analogy.
Yeah.
So where does this disconnect come from? Why do we get stuck in this ambition-laziness limbo?
Well, it's a complex interplay of factors, but studies show fear often plays a significant role. It could be fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success itself. We might subconsciously sabotage ourselves to avoid the potential discomfort that comes with those fears. It's almost like our minds are saying, well, if I don't try, I can't fail right.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like we're creating this safety bubble of inaction to protect ourselves from potential disappointment or the unknown challenges that success might bring. But of course, that also means we miss out on the possibility of achieving those dreams.
Precisely. It's a classic avoidance strategy. And it's not just fear. It appears that feeling overwhelmed can be a major factor as well. When our goals seem too large or the path to achieving them feels too daunting, it's easy to feel paralyzed and just give in to procrastination.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. It's
Yeah.
like staring up at a massive mountain and having absolutely no idea where to even start climbing. The sheer scale of the challenge can make it tempting to just stay put in base camp.
Exactly. And then you have the ever-present allure of instant gratification. We live in a world designed to provide us with immediate rewards and entertainment. And compared to the delayed gratification of working towards a long-term goal, it's no wonder that those quick hits of dopamine can often win out.
It's true. Patience can feel like a lost art in our world of instant everything. And, sometimes it's not even fear or overwhelm that holds us back. Sometimes it's just pure exhaustion. We're all juggling so much these days, work, family, social commitments. And after a long day, it's completely understandable to feel like we have absolutely nothing left in the tank to pursue those ambitious goals.
That's a really important point. We need to acknowledge the impact our modern lifestyles have on our energy levels. It's incredibly difficult to summon the motivation for ambitious pursuits when we're already running on fumes.
It's like expecting a car to run a marathon on an empty tank, right? You need fuel to go the distance.
Exactly. And speaking of obstacles, let's not forget about the allure of perfectionism.
Oh, perfectionism, the ultimate dream killer.
It can be. The idea that everything needs to be flawless before we even begin can lead to endless delays and prevent us from taking those crucial first steps. We get so caught up in the details and the fear of making mistakes that we never actually get started. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece before you've even learned how to hold a brush.
So we've got fear, overwhelm, exhaustion, perfectionism, and instant gratification all working together to keep us stuck in this ambitious but lazy loop. It's like a team of tiny saboteurs working tirelessly behind the scenes to undermine our efforts.
That's a very accurate analogy. But here's the good news. Understanding these underlying factors is the first step towards overcoming them. It's about recognizing these patterns in ourselves and developing strategies to counteract them.
Okay, so let's unpack this. How do we actually outsmart those pesky saboteurs and finally bridge the gap between our ambitions and our actions?
Well, studies show one powerful approach is to break down those big daunting goals into smaller, more manageable steps. This can make a huge difference in overcoming that initial inertia and that feeling of being overwhelmed.
So instead of trying to write an entire novel, I could start by committing to writing just one page a day.
Exactly. Or, if your goal is to learn a new language, commit to just 10 minutes of practice each day. It appears that these small, consistent actions can create a sense of momentum and progress, which can be incredibly motivating. It's about building a foundation of small wins that can eventually lead to bigger achievements.
It's like that old saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step,
Mm.
right? You don't have to conquer the whole mountain in a day. Just focus on taking that first step and then another and another.
Precisely. And as you start to see those small wins accumulate, it can boost your confidence and make the larger goal feel less intimidating. It becomes less about conquering the mountain and more about enjoying the climb. It's like those small victories fuel our motivation to keep going. And it appears that another important strategy is to create a plan, a roadmap, so to speak. Having a clear plan with specific deadlines can help you stay focused and accountable.
So it's not enough to just have this like nebulous goal kind of floating around in our heads. We need to actually break it down into those concrete steps and set a timeline for ourselves and hold ourselves accountable to actually following through.
Exactly. It appears that having a tangible plan can really make a difference in terms of turning those aspirations into actions. And don't underestimate the power of support. Studies show sharing your goals with a friend, family member, or mentor can provide a sense of accountability and encouragement.
That's a great point. It's like having a cheerleader in your corner, someone to celebrate those wins with you and provide support when those inevitable moments of doubt kind of creep in.
Absolutely. Having someone to share the journey with can make a huge difference. And let's not forget the importance of rewards. It appears that rewarding yourself for achieving those small milestones can be a great way to reinforce positive behavior and make the process more enjoyable.
So it's like giving ourselves little pats on the back along the way to celebrate those small victories.
Exactly. And those rewards don't have to be anything major. It could be something as simple as watching an episode of your favorite show after completing a challenging task, or enjoying a delicious meal, or taking a relaxing bath. It's about acknowledging your progress and giving yourself permission to celebrate those wins.
This is starting to sound a lot more manageable. I'm feeling a surge of motivation already. So we've talked about breaking down goals, creating a plan, seeking support, and rewarding ourselves. What other tips can you share to help us conquer that lazy side and unleash our inner ambition?
Well, one really important strategy is to identify and address the underlying causes of your procrastination. Is it fear, overwhelm, exhaustion, perfectionism, or maybe a combination of these factors? It appears that once you understand the root of the problem, you can start to develop more targeted and effective solutions.
So it's like a detective mission where we need to investigate our own patterns and figure out what's really holding us back. We need to become experts in our own procrastination tendencies.
Precisely. And it appears that sometimes it can be helpful to challenge those negative thoughts and beliefs that might be fueling your procrastination. Are you telling yourself you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you're just inherently lazy? Those kinds of thoughts can become self-fulfilling prophecies. It's important to try to replace those limiting beliefs with positive affirmations and focus on your strengths.
It's like giving ourselves a pep talk and reminding ourselves of what we're truly capable of achieving. We need to be our own biggest cheerleaders.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of visualization. Studies show that imagining yourself successfully achieving your goals can actually increase your motivation and confidence.
So it's like creating a mental movie of ourselves, crossing the finish line, feeling that sense of accomplishment, and letting that positive energy fuel our actions in the present.
Precisely. And finally, remember that progress isn't always linear. There will be days when you feel incredibly motivated and productive, and there will be days when you feel like doing absolutely nothing at all. It's a natural part of the process.
That's so true. It's like a roller coaster ride with its inevitable ups and downs. You can't expect to be at peak motivation every single day.
Exactly. And it's important to be kind to yourself on those days when you're struggling. Don't beat yourself up for having a bad day. Just acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track tomorrow.
I love that message. It's a reminder that we're all human and we're all on this journey together. There's no shame in having an off day as long as we don't let it derail us completely.
Absolutely. And remember that even small steps can lead to big results over time. The key is to keep moving forward one step at a time and trust the process.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation. I'm feeling so inspired to tackle my goals now. What about you?
I'm feeling energized and ready to take action. It's amazing how a little bit of knowledge and encouragement can make such a difference.
Well, listeners, we hope you're feeling inspired too. Remember, it's never too late to start pursuing your dreams, no matter how big or small they may be.
And don't let those feelings of laziness or self-doubt hold you back. You have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to, as long as you're willing to put in the work and be patient with the process.
So what small step will you take today to move closer to your goals?
That's a great question to ponder. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
So as we wrap up this episode, let's take a moment to recap some of those key takeaways. We learned that feeling ambitious but lazy is completely normal. We all experience those moments of procrastination and self-doubt, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely. It's part of the human experience. But as we discussed, the key is to recognize these patterns in ourselves and start developing healthy habits to counteract them. Breaking down those big, intimidating goals into smaller, more manageable steps, creating a clear plan with deadlines, seeking support from friends or mentors, rewarding ourselves for those small victories, and being flexible along the way are all essential ingredients in the recipe for success.
And let's not forget the importance of being kind to ourselves. Remember, progress isn't always linear. There will be days when you feel like you're on top of the world, and there will be days when you just want to hit the snooze button and stay under the covers. That's okay. It's all part of the process.
Precisely. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And as we discuss, those days when you're feeling less motivated can actually be valuable learning opportunities. By acknowledging those feelings, figuring out what's triggering them, and adjusting our approach accordingly, we can actually make those challenging days work in our favor.
So true. It's all about learning from our experiences and using those lessons to fuel our future growth. And never underestimate the power of visualization. Taking a few moments each day to close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself achieving those goals, feeling that sense of accomplishment and pride, can be incredibly powerful in terms of boosting your motivation and reinforcing your commitment to taking action.
Absolutely. Our minds are incredibly powerful tools, and the more we can harness that power to focus on positive outcomes and visualize ourselves succeeding, the more likely we are to actually make those visions a reality.
So to all of our amazing listeners out there, no matter what your dreams are, we want you to know that you have the power within you to achieve them.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive, and until next time, stay curious, stay ambitious, and never stop learning and growing.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow and reach more English learners like you. By subscribing, you'll never miss a new episode, and by liking the video, you're letting us know you want more helpful content. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us.